Hi everyone, I'm Brock. So today let's review another commercial product. Well, as I mentioned before, in the past year, when I say I want to research on commercial product, I try to research, ensure that I try to find some, ranking such as A16Z publish top 50 Gen AI apps. Then I just go through them one by one. Then I realized actually a lot of them are pretty repeated, even if they are in the list. But I personally don't get very motivated to play test it because I just play test one, right, every week. So I don't want to waste my time on something I internally don't get very motivated. So I changed my strategy. My current strategy just to scan, the WeChat official account I follow. If I find something track my eyes or arouse my curiosity, then just to play test it. Like last week, I went through the WeChat official account and I find that Minimax the name show up several times. So I do research on it. So, and this weekend, Nano Banana 2 catch my eyes. Although we already talked about Google AI Studio, talk about, I think, uh, Google's AI products for several times before, but since it's something state of art, I just choose this one. So this is my current strategy when I decide which commercial product I want to research. Okay, let's start. So what's this? Nano Banana is Google DeepMind's latest AI image generation and editing tool. Efficiently designated as Gemini 3.1 flash image, launched on February 26. It combined advanced image quality of Nano Banana Pro with the speed of Gemini's flash architecture. Oh, faster with same high quality, right? Generating in 4 to 6 seconds at resolution up to 4K. That's impressive. It is available for free for consumers through Gemini app and for developers through Gemini API, Google AI Studio, and Vertex AI. This product is positioned as a pro capabilities at flash speed. Okay. 物美价廉, right? Offering, ranking. First one, on the artificial analysis image arena, blend human evaluation. Leaderboard at roughly half of the API cost on its the SaaS Nano Banana Pro. That's insane. Okay, so let's try some hands-on experience. Personally speaking, I have two directions I'm interested in. The first one is directly use a chapter of novel to generate a picture. Because Hongyido AI will use that. The second one is use API to call that. So firstly, let's open AI Studio, Google AI Studio. Image generation. Okay, so Nano Banana 2. Oh, okay, it's not free. I must link paid API key to access Nano Banana 2. But it just now it said it's free, I guess. Okay. You see, when cloud makes its report, is I guess that it has some misunderstanding, right? It think it's free, but actually it's not. So okay, so now let's try on Gemini or Google. So what I want to do is I just um, create a image. And like when I choose create image, it led me to try different styles, right? Mm. Let's just try. Okay, one style. And then this is Gemini 3. But it doesn't have the option as Gemini 3.1. I guess it's not, I guess it haven't go for public GA yet. So what's his? Yeah, I think that my account cannot test the 3.1. It's a little bit confusing. Okay. But this is still Gemini 3. It doesn't give me the option to choose Gemini 3.1. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, Gemini 3.1, no. And then again, I think that how I tried, I will just directly input a whole chapter of the context. And this is part of the came from Gemini, and I just send it. I don't know what it will generate for me. Oh, it's loading Nano Banana 2. So which means as long as I choose Pro, when I generate images, it will just use Nano Banana 2. That's good. And this is a chain of thought. Interesting, which means that it still cannot Yeah, which means that oh, interesting. Because in this book it oh, that's the reason why it cannot generate. Okay, let me choose another book. Which book? Let me choose. Okay, Harry Potter. Uh, Again, Nano Banana 2 is loaded. Uh, hey, so if I directly input the whole one, it's actually giving me a summary. But what I want is, okay, input the whole chapter into Gemini and then give an instruction like this. Based on the thing described, generate, okay, let's say what it's thinking. Okay, it's more than 46 seconds. Okay. Hmm, interesting. It's still saving. It's pretty slow, huh? Okay, here it is. Mr. Dunsley. It's actually, I think that the key factors, huh, it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's try another one. Now illustrate the dialogue scene at the end of the chapter to see whether they can keep the consistency of the subjects. Also, last year, 1 year ago, when I discussed with my professor, one of the things I mentioned that the inconsistency between characters. But now it's not a issue anymore because these models actually can deal with such inconsistency pretty well. You see? It changed the shape, it changed the facial expression, but like a clothes, like how it looks like, actually is pretty, I should say it's already pretty good. So you see, right? And they are close, right? And yeah, it's pretty close. It's good. Okay. And yeah, and this is to generate a cover. Hmm. Maybe I can think about use Gemini to generate cover images for my videos. And edit images. Mm. Feature E, web grounded image generation. Okay. And this is how to use it through API call. Yeah, this should be able to use in my Hongyido AI product. Core features: text to image generation. Okay, Nano Banana 2 generates images from natural language description in 4 to 6 seconds, 3 to 10 times faster than Nano Banana Pro's 20 to 60 seconds. The model supports resolution from 512px to 4K across multiple aspect ratio, making it suitable for everything from social media thumbnails to print quality posters. Interesting. Second one is text rendering. One of the historically hardest problem in AI image generation is rendering legible, correctly spelled text with images. But it's well Nano Banana 2 needs the industry. That's insane. Yeah, I guess that, yeah, let me write down. When I generate covered, instead of use Cloud Code, I should use Gemini, I think. Let me write down. When generate video cover pictures, instead of using feature 3, subject consistency. Yeah, also it solved previously the single biggest frustration in AI art. Every new generation production, a different looking vision of the same characters. Yeah, as as an improvement of the model, a lot of hard problems suddenly is not an issue anymore. That's insane. Feature 4, image editing, which means that we can upload a photo and just replace and change how it looks like with natural language. We used to do that in Photoshop, and you need to be very familiar with how to use Photoshop to achieve those goals. But now we just reset with one natural language. That's incredible. And the web search grounding. So Nano Banana 2 can have access to web information to render the specific and the newest same topic. That's cool. Feature 7, same fake ID, which means that you can use this to verify whether this image is AI generated or not. Item 7, multi-image fusion. It's kind of like, when we have a group picture, right? Someone doesn't show up, and sometimes we're joking, okay, later we will PS this person into the group photo. And now we can use AI to generate. Okay, core technology. Item 1, diffusion model. Imagine you have perfectly clear photographer. Now, imagine someone gradually adds TV static noise to it, layer by layer, until the photo becomes pure random noise, like a blizzard on an old TV. A diffusion model learns this process in reverse. Start from pure noise, then to remove the noise step by step until a clear image emerges. It's like a sculptor who starts with a block of marble and chips away it gradually. Except the marble is a random noise and the sculptor is a neural network. Well, right, painting is also like this, right? When I paint, I start from white paper and I iterate 1, 2, 10 times and finally get the picture from a white paper. That's exactly diffusion model is doing, right? Under the hood, diffusion process 2 parameters, forward diffusion, which train data images are progressively corrupted with Gaussian noise across T time steps until they become pure noise. Reverse diffusion is a network learns to predict and subtract noise at each step. Reconstruct the image. The model is trained to minimize the difference between its noise prediction and the actual noise added. Using a loss function called the mean square error MSE. Feature 2, diffusion transformer architecture, DIT. Traditional diffusion model use a unite architecture, like a U-shaped assembling line where the image gets compressed, processed, then explained back. The diffusion transformer replaces this U-shaped assembling with a transformer. The same architecture that powers ChatGPT and Gemini for text. Think of it like replacing the engine in a car. The car can still drive on the same road, but the new engine is more powerful and handles complex things better because it can pay attention to relationships between the distant parts of the image simultaneously. Nano Banana 2 uses a DIT backbone operation in latent space, meaning images are first compressed into a smaller mathematical representation before the diffusion process begins, then decoded back to full resolution afterwards. The latent space approach, similar to Stable Diffusion's architecture, dramatically reduced the computation compared to running diffusion in pixel space. Feature 3, Gemini multimodal controller. If the DIT backbone is a painter's hands, the Gemini controller is a painter's brain. It reads and deeply understands the text prompt using the same language model that powers Gemini Chat, decides what needs to appear in the image, and then instructs the DIT backbone on exactly what to generate. This is why Nano Banana 2 can understand complex, nuanced prompts, including entire chapters of novels. This would confuse a simpler image model. Yeah, it must understand, the whole chapter of novel. The Gemini controller also handles the web search grounding. When it detects that the prompt references a specific real-world entity, it queries Google search to retrieve current visual information before directing image generation. This two-stage architecture is what enables Nano Banana to use advanced features like subject consistency and multilingual text rendering. Yeah. Feature 4. Faith ID digital watermarking. Imagine writing a secret message in invisible ink on every page of a book. Even if someone photocopies the book, crops pages, or highlights text, the invisible message survives because it's woven into paper fibers, not printed on top. Thin ID embedding is an imperceptible and signal into the pixel patterns of generated image, invisible to human eyes but detected by specialized algorithms. Unlike traditional visible watermarks, which can be cropped out, Things ID is robust to common image transformer. Feature 5. Latent space manipulation for image editing. Every image can be thought of as a point in a vast mathematical space like GPS coordinates, but with thousands of dimensions instead of two. An image of a brown couch in a living room has certain coordinates in its space, which means everything, even arts, can be described in math language. I think that's the most fascinating thing for math. Music is also math, right? Programming, no doubt, is math. Literature, math as well. An image of a blue sofa in a living room has nearby but different coordinates. Nano Banana 2 edits images by navigating through its mathematical space. It finds the current image's coordinates, identifies the direction that corresponds to requested change, brown to blue, couch to sofa, and moves to a new coordinates, producing an edited image that preserves everything except the changed element. Okay. Technology 6, Flash architecture optimization. Imagine two chefs cooking the same dish. Chef Pro, which is Nano Banana Pro, use premier equipment and takes 20 to 30 minutes. Chef Flash Nano Banana 2 use optimized techniques by preparing ingredients using smaller but smarter cook well and paralyzing tasks to produce the same dish in 46 minutes. The secret is not cutting corners on quantity, but finding computational shortcuts that gives reduced redundant work. Kind of like our, life, right? We saw some people who are capable of doing so many things good at the same time. It's not because they have 48 hours a day. It's because they find a better path to organize things. And that's, you call it mindset, you call it workflow, whatever. That's something we should learn from. Specifically, Nano Banana 2 use fewer diffusion steps. Each step is more efficient due to optimized model distillation and run inference on Google's TPU. Okay, so Google is trying to use TPU, tensor processing unit, to replace NVIDIA's GPU. V5 chips, which are purpose-built for neural network operations. That's cool. Again, some glossary: artificial intelligence, application program interface, diffusion transformer, model distillation, Friendship, Frichet, inception distance, implanting, letter space, Latin language model, large language model, mean squared error, neural network, outpainting, representational state transform API, software development kit, subject consistency, things, scene ID, text to image, tensor processing unit, transformer, unite. Okay, workflow. User input to Gemini LM controller and do web research. And then Latin space encoder, deep backbone, Latin space decoder, things ID, resolution, scaling, output image. Okay, and this is how to use API to call it. Timeline. Okay, Nano Banana is published August 2025. Just half a year, it's become top model. That's insane. Yeah. The founding team is Google DeepMind, is a research laboratory, an AI company that operates as a subsidiary of Alphabet. It was founded in April 2023 by emerging Google Brain and DeepMind. Headquartered in London, UK, which is DeepMind's original base, with additional office in Mountain View. Oh, DeepMind have office in Mountain View. I don't know that. That's cool. Core person, Damis Hassabis, CEO, co-founder, Google DeepMind. That's crazy. Yeah, here's some marketing stuff. Let's just skip it. Competitive analysis, such as GPT Image 1.5, Midjourney, Adobe Firefly, Flux 1.1, Stable Diffusion, Ideogram. Okay, K insights. Distribution is a moat. Good enough, the good enough threshold. Web grounding is an underappreciated differentiator. Yeah. It's the most up-to-date information, right? Something happened yesterday and Gemini and Nano Banana 2 can generate today. That's insane. Okay, here's some academic papers, open source projects, commercial products, okay, video subscribers. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And yeah, I think that I will try to use Gemini to generate the video subtitles. Let's see how it works. I will try it tonight for this video, for the 3 videos I made today. I made 3 videos today: academic paper, open source project, and commercial products. I will try to use Google Gemini rather than, because previously I used Cloud Code, which is actually Ops 4.6 to generate. But let's see how it works with Nano Banana 2. Thank you, everyone. Bye.